Hey guys, happy Wednesday morning here on the East Coast and the low country of South Carolina. Oops, sorry about that. I'm out here on the back porch about to head out, start doing some coaching for our heroic small business owners is what we love to do. But I thought I'd come back out here because the tide is actually still coming in. And a lot of you guys hear me talk about the difference in tide and what the tide looks like in the light of business ownership. And I thought since we're on the back end of what they call a super king tide, that tide that you see right here will actually come up even higher. But what I want you to notice out here is my neighbor's boat right there. You can kind of hardly see it. I know I can't get that close to it, but my neighbor's boat is tied up to his dock. And what I wanted to talk to you about this morning was how a business vision is a lot like the anchor of a boat. And so when you've got a boat sitting out in the water, especially where we've got it out here, again, these are tidal creeks. So the tide's going to come in from here and it's going to go out this afternoon. So it's still coming in right now. And here's the way boats work out in these tides, is you got to have an anchor down into the bottom of the water on the river, or else your boat's just going to go out to sea. In fact, we had a boat float sitting out there, and when the hurricane came in, the water rose and rose really high to a height that we've not had here before. It took that boat float right off the anchor and took it right out to sea. Man, that thing's probably in New Jersey. So wherever you're at, if you're on the East Coast right now, look out your window. You might see my boat float out there. And one thing would have saved that boat float from going out into the ocean: a rope or an anchor, something tied down. And when you don't have a vision story for your business, it is no different than a boat not having an anchor. Here's the beauty of an anchor. Just because that anchor catches in the floor of the river doesn't mean the boat stays still. The boat still floats around it. So when the tide comes in, the boat turns. When the tide goes out, the boat turns with it. And so you go in, you go out. And here's what I tell people all the time when it relates to these tidal creeks that are back here. When the tide comes in, the tide goes out. When you live on a lake, that's kind of the mindset of an employee. You know, the level of the water stays pretty much the same the whole time. It doesn't fluctuate too much. But when you live on a tidal creek like this, the tide comes in, it could be high as 9-10 feet, and then here in about 6 hours, there's going to be no water right there. It's going to be completely empty, and my neighbor's boat will literally be sitting in the and so when you run a business and you don't have a vision story, it literally is no different than a boat sitting in a tidal creek where the tide's coming in, tide's going out, and it doesn't have an anchor. And so you need to make sure that you spend time sitting down, writing out your vision story. What do you want your family, your freedom to look like? What do you want your finances to look like? What do you want your personnel, your product, your service, your culture, all of those segments of a business? What do you want those things to look like 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 8 years from now? You need to be able to answer that question, not only for you, but also the people who get to the privilege of being able to work with you. So, hey, the other thing I was going to tell you on this Facebook Live before we head out is to let you know that over the next few days, we want to be able to answer your questions. A lot of you have questions about the end of 2016, going into 2017 as it relates to finances, as it relates to business planning, those sorts of things. And we want to help control the chaos in your mind around those things. And so if we can help you in any way, go ahead and post some questions to us, and we'll be able to go over and review those here on Facebook live in front of everybody. And I hope we're right in how we answer those questions. Rob Shreve, Brian McRae, great to see you guys. One last view out the back here when you look at that great tidal creek back there. Again, my neighbor's boat right there. Our little boat float is right there. That's a new one that we had to get. It's actually a used scrap one that we got. But that's what holds our little John boat when we're back there. But anyway, all right, guys, you guys make it a great Wednesday. And again, post any questions that you got. Post them to us on Facebook so that we can come back and be able to answer those questions in the next few weeks as it relates to the end of 2016, going into 2017, to help liberate you, the business owner, from the chaos of working in your business so that we can help you get your life back and experience a wonderful life that God's given you. All right, guys, have a great day.